So, last night it was about midnight and I heard a noise outside. I was in the upstairs guest bedroom and I looked out my window and there's this guy walking up my driveway in the dark. And then he's walking up my sidewalk. And then he's standing at my front door and I can see him on my little night vision front camera. And I have no idea who this is. So I get up and I run downstairs. And I'm thinking to myself immediately, what's this guy up to? Why is he standing there in the dark at my front door and he's not even knocking? A little bit weird, right? So my survival instinct kicked in, my Sergeant Fleming mentality came down. I'm going to come down, open the door, and hey, I don't know what's going to happen. It's unpredictable. So I get downstairs, and actually my dog Maverick, my German Shepherd, is laying right next to the table. So I'm like, man, this might get really good. And I'm like, in my mind, it's horrible. In my mind, I was almost hoping he was up to no good. It's a horrible thing. It's not even a good thing. So I flick on the light to the outside, to the entryway, which is 3 extremely bright white bulbs way up in what's called the turret. I have this huge entryway. Well, it lights up the night like day. So I flicked it on, and I unlocked and opened the door. And nobody was there. So I walk outside, and there's a guy about 20 feet across the street on the other sidewalk. And I can see him on his phone. That was the guy. So I stepped outside, and not in a mean way, but in a really firm voice, I said, "Hey, can I help you?" And he looks at me and responds, and he says, "Yeah, I'm looking for my buddy's house. It's yada yada." He gave me the address, and he said, "Do you know where that is?" And I didn't know what he was. I don't know who lived there, and I said, "Well, who are you looking for exactly?" And he gave me the name of somebody. Oh, that's a person I know, and that's their address. So I said, "Oh yeah, it's that house over there." "Oh, thanks, man." That's what he said. Now, that was pretty different than what was actually going on. Was quite different from what was going through my mind and body. My physiology was in war mode. It was in the mode of, hey, this guy's up to no good. I assumed it. I didn't know it to be the case, and so I knew there was a possibility that wasn't the case. But when it's midnight and there's a guy standing in the dark alone at your door and he's not knocking at your front door, that's fishy, that's weird. So my point is this: you and I don't always see things in life as they are. We see those things, as one guy put it, we see things in life as we are. I have a military background. I'm trained to look for things that are out of place. Why is this happening? And so my default mode that's been concreted in the military through combat is going, all right, this doesn't look right. What's going on? Why is this guy on my property at my front door? And there's this little voice in the back of my head saying, yeah, you're right, but you might not have all the information. I don't know how many times you've been in a situation where you reacted to how you felt because the story in your head was different maybe from what was going on. And then you realized, oh, I didn't have all the information. Wow. Sometimes you kind of look like an idiot. And so last night I was very vigilant. I was right there. And, if I got to fight the guy, I'll fight him. I know how to do that. My German Shepherd was laying right there, and he's a trained attack dog. So I'm good, man. The guy was simply looking for his buddy's house, who was a neighbor of mine. And so I went to bed thinking to myself, telling myself, I'm really glad I could help that guy out. I didn't have to choke him out. I got to help him out. And it felt really good. And this guy was just lost in the dark. He didn't know where his buddy lived, So my point is this: next time you're in a situation where you think you know what's going on and your body is emotionally amped, your mind is emotionally amped, and your body is going to respond to that, ask yourself this question. Remember this: I think I know what's going on here, but I might not have all the information. If you will ask that question, if you will make that statement to yourself in heightened states like that, okay, it's fine. I think I know what I see. Unless it's blatant, somebody has a gun to someone's head, that's a different story. But if you think you know what's going on and you're perceiving it that way, just ask yourself, do I have all the information? because he might not. Somebody who might look like a home intruder, which has happened a couple times around this area. It's a pretty good area, so it doesn't happen often. Somebody that looked like a possible home intruder or a vandal was just a teenage kid looking for his buddy's house. All right, so that's what happened. So remember, we don't see the world all the time. We don't perceive things around us always as they actually are, but as we are, through the lens of how we see things based on how our life has treated us and how we've been conditioned to think in certain situations. So react accordingly, but always remember yourself, there's a possibility you might not have all the information.